Me how I set my Border Collie puppy's ears. So we have a new Border Collie puppy that has never had her ears set. So we're going to go through it step by step, but this is what you need. And over here I have yarn needles. Okay, you need that. And this is tear mender glue. Skin bond, but you can't buy skin bond anymore with the latex, so it's actually called Torbot, T-O-R-B-O-T, with latex. You need it with latex in order for it to stick. Rubbing alcohol, yarn, and most importantly, moleskin, cotton balls to clean the ears, and scissors. Okay, so this is the new puppy that we will do the ears. You'll see how they are before, and then when we're done, you're going to see the after. This is Lavish, and she's 7 weeks old. Okay, so before you make the earmuffs, take the alcohol and the cotton ball and get off all the dirt and the oil from inside the ear leather. And we're going to do that to both ears. Okay, stop it. Okay, you're going to cut the moleskin, and the moleskin should be the size that, if you want them to tip, which is what I want them to do, here is the button. I'm going to rest it just above that button and pretty much have the width go almost the width from edge to edge, and the height of it should be where probably half the height of the ear where you would like it to tip. Okay, so what you do is you make 4 identical pieces of moleskin, because what we're going to do is we're going to double up the moleskin, and then we're going to then take the yarn and put it through. Okay, so you're going to peel off the backing of one of the braces, and you are then going to stick it to the felt side so that we're just doubling it up before we put the yarn in. Okay, now that I've got 2 sticky sides together, this is one pair, and I've threaded my yarn through the yarn needle. If this is the top side, this is the bottom side, then I'm going to go right in the middle and off the edge a little bit and stick this through like this, and then pull one side of the yarn through, take the needle off, make sure they're even here, and then I'm going to tie a knot right here. And get the knot very close to the edge of the moleskin brace, like that. I'm going to do the same for the other one. Okay, so now this is your set of ear braces, or earmuffs is what I call them. The yarn will go towards the inside. For the first step of actually doing the ears, you're going to need your tear mender, a damp, wet paper towel, and you need to already have threaded your yarn through your yarn needles, 2 of them, for the next step. Okay, so what you're going to do with this glue is you're going to get to the base of the ear on the inside and gather some hair right at the base. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the glue, a little hard for me when no one's holding her, but I'm going to take some of this glue and I'm going to make it so that I can stick my yarn through. I'm going to gather it to the ear. Okay, grab some hair, okay, because I'm going to thread my needle through the hair. Okay, you see I've got it through. I know it's not going through skin or she'd be screaming. And pull one leg of the yarn through, take the needle off, make sure your yarn is even, and just push it aside. And we're going to do the same thing to the other ear. Your damp cloth is so that when you're using this glue, it's going to get on your fingers, and that in between you can wipe the glue off so that you're not sticking to everything. And then once these 2 are through, then I'm going to take it, tie them up on top of the head like that, make a few knots. Because I've got 4 yarns that were doubled, 4 strands, I'm going to separate them, and I'm going to kind of keep knotting it this way. This just keeps the knot secure so it won't unknot. Then I'm going to cut off the excess fairly close to the knot. And we're ready for the next step. We're going to do here, this takes pressure off when I put the moleskin braces on and not just, rely on the tying of the moleskin. So it's kind of like, it's a prerequisite and takes pressure off the moleskin ties. Okay, so now we're back to the ear braces with the moleskin. We're going to peel off that backing. This is the sticky side. And then we're going to use the Tarbot, the latex skin glue. Okay, and we're going to make sure we spread it evenly. We're going to do this for both braces, and we're going to let it set so it gets tacky before you put it onto the ear. Okay, this is tacky now, so it's ready to put into the ear. Make sure you have your thing handy so all your glue is off your fingers. Okay, so this is the sticky side or the tacky side, and this is going to go in her right ear. And remember about that button, I'm going to rest it on top of the button, the base, and make sure I'm sticking it, okay, all corners in the middle so that I've left no gaps or air pockets. And make sure that no hair is being pulled underneath, because if there is, that's when I'm going to start scratching at it. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other ear muff. So again, this is going to be in my left hand, going on to the left ear, making sure I'm not going to catch any hair. Go to the button, rest it above the button, and press it. So I'm taking away any air pockets. Make sure I can feel that there's no hair being pulled under the brace. And then we're ready to take your time and making sure it's sticking well. But if you left it tacky, it really takes no time to stick to the ear. You can already see how we're coming up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these braces and I'm going to, again, tie them fairly close together, making sure I pull a little bit apart here while I'm tying so no hairs are being pulled into the knot. I'm going to do the same thing for each knot, making sure separate the yarn. You're being a very good puppy. So I'm separating the yarn, and I'm going to use these 4 strings to make these extra knots so it does not unravel. And when you do, each time you do, check till you're not pulling in any hairs, because that'll make them scratch the ears. Although once you do this to the puppies the first time, they will have a tendency to shake their head a little bit and scratch, because it's something very new for them. You can stop. Okay, once you feel you have enough knots and you've checked for hairs, okay, then I'm going to cut off the excess, okay, and basically you can tack these down. Remember, this is for training them to go tip. When you tack these down, you then have to use your tear mender glue, and you put a little bit on, because what you don't want the dog's ears is to be flopping back and forth. So I just take a little smidgen of the tear mender glue, let it fold over natural based on the height you have, grab some hair at the base and tack it to the hair at the base. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other tip. You don't need much. Let it fold natural and grab some hair, because that's what you're not sticking it to the moleskin, you're sticking it to hair at the base. And then what you have is a very different look. Very cute. And if you do this right, with the right type of glue, this will stay in for weeks, the moleskin part. The first brace that we did with the yarn and just the hair will stay in until you decide to cut it out. But this is how I teach the puppy's ears to go tip. Very different look. Hi, little girl. This is lavish.